Okay, guys, triangles. Now, you've got the notes in front of you here, and basically we're going to just be doing some classification of triangles. Okay, we can classify triangles based on their angles. There are three of them. We can classify them on their angles, or we can classify them on their sides. Okay, meaning that we can give them a name based on what type of angles they have, or we can give them a name based on how their sides are related. Okay, and I want to come back to that in just a second. But the first thing I want to talk about is this stuff right here. Let me see if I can. I don't want to do that. I wanted to kind of, but it won't let me. Let's look at number 1 here. It says the sum of the measures of a triangle's angles are always equal to 180. Don't forget it. You need to know it forever and ever, Ruben. 180, right? Now, second note here, the perimeter of a triangle equals the sum of its sides. So remember, perimeter is just the distance around a figure. So I just add up all the sides, and that's the perimeter. All right? And then the last thing here, the area of a triangle, and we've talked about this, there are really two ways to write it, but I think you guys you like to look at it like this. Rather than a half times base times height, you like to look at it as base times height over 2. Either way, that's the way it works, all right? Now, the first thing, let's look at an acute triangle. Now, CC, tell me, what is an acute angle? Not triangle, but acute angle. It's less than 90. An acute triangle is a triangle where all the angles are less than 90. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to circle this one, all right, because that's the one we're talking about right now, the acute one. And you're going to notice that all the angles are kind of cute. They're all small. They're all less than 90. All three of them are less than 90. And they all add up to 180. We know that. That's our rule number 1. Okay? Next up, Jackson. What is a right angle? What's the measure of a right angle? What is it? I'm asking you right now. What is the measure of a right angle?
90 degrees.
It's 90 degrees. Now, a right triangle, right? And we're talking about this one right here. A right triangle has one right angle. The other two are less than 90. And the reason is because, guys, if they all add up to 180 and one of them equals 90 degrees, the other two have to be less than 90. Because if one of the other two equaled 90, then all of the degrees would be taken up. There wouldn't be any left for the third angle, right? Because they've got to add up to 180. So a right triangle has one right angle and the other two are acute. Now, CB, what is an obtuse angle? It's greater than 90. All right, so now we're looking at this one. Okay? An obtuse angle has more than 90 degrees, and an obtuse triangle is a triangle where one of the angles is greater than 90 degrees, but the other two have to be acute, right? Only one is bigger than 90 degrees. All right. Now, the last one here, it's really two of them. There's an equiangular, and then there's equilateral. Equiangular means that all three of the angles are exactly the same, Ruben. They're all 60 degrees. Now think about this, Ruben. An equiangular triangle is really also what other kind of triangle that we already talked about today? No, not an equilateral. It is equilateral, but an equiangular, it's also another type that we've already said today. It's an acute triangle also, but it's a special kind. It's an acute triangle where all of the numbers or all of the angles are the same. Okay? Now, if all of the angles are the same, stay with me. Don't look at the clock. All right? If all of the angles are the same, all of the sides are the same too. So this is also an equilateral triangle. And you can tell, and equal sides have these little marks there saying these things are equal. Okay? All right. Now, I'm not done yet. We need to talk about classifying triangles based on their angles, and I'll do that in the second part. All right?